So this is the new set strategy that I don't know. Boyd is he definitely deserves a mention here. I haven't read it all, but I saw in his Discord there were like 1,000 messages with people discussing set numbers in terms of gathering rates and is it worth it to get farms when you're playing set and how many villages do you need on a TC and all kinds of nerdy stuff. I didn't care to read it, but a lot of thought went into set there, and the conclusion was that when you're playing set, it doesn't make sense to be farming. Instead, what you want to do is get 2 monuments early on and accumulate enough favor so that you can start making animals with your pharaoh. And you're gonna do that a bit in classical age if you need it, so that you can get to heroic age at a relatively early time. And when you're in heroic age, you just start spamming giraffes. And with those giraffes, you can easily get to Horus. And this tornado timing that you can make with set is absolutely devastating. This game is a great example of it. I watched it on Rabble's stream. He's streaming on Twitch, and yeah, let's just look at how Kimo does it. So he goes 4 onto Hunt here in the beginning with the Pharaoh empowering it. He then goes 2 onto Gold. 2 onto Gold relatively early on because he wants the monument to villagers early on, so he needs the gold from these villagers, obviously. Some guy's nudging me for no reason, I think. Sorry about that. Yeah, so he actually goes 3 onto gold here. And then I imagine rest goes onto food here. This is Ghost Lake, really scuffed Ghost Lake with only a single boar in the beginning, and then the rest of the hunt is located over here. So this is a great map for this strategy because, as said, you just make the hunt yourself. You don't care if there's any hunt on the map. All you need is basically the single boar here in the beginning and then this hunt back here. It'll give you enough hunt to go classical age. And I imagine he's going to go for the TC as well. And then he can just place his pharaoh over here and start spamming those gazelles. Giving him enough food to go heroic age, especially with like 9 goats here. It should be no problem. I can't tell if Sobe is trolling or not now. What do you mean, Boyd? With the numbers or whatever it was? Kimo actually stealing a caribou right under Rebel's nose here. I really don't know, Boyd, what you're talking about. I said you. I don't know if you want recognition, but I do believe that you are the guy who always advocated for eating hunt as said. So there is that. Whenever I see Boyd playing set, I always see the most trolly strategies that somehow works with the shifting sand shenanigans. Always great fun to look at. I think this Kimo playstyle that he's making here, I think it's a bit better, a little less trolly than the shifting sands plays that you usually see Boyd make. I don't know, Boyd. Tell me what you're. I really don't know what you're talking about. Just tell me what you're thinking. Anyways, we have the first monument here, and yeah, that's the only one so far. It's not no magic happening in the arcade gauge here. There's a cage here in case he wants to wall in Odysseus, but like this is obviously this is very like Kimo. He doesn't make these amazing classical or arcade gauge build orders. That's not what he's known for. What he does instead is he has this perfect macro. When he hits classical age, he'll have enough gold for the TC, and he will have enough food to make villagers from both town centers. Even while being harassed here by Ajax, he will manage his economy very well. But looking at the time here, and looking at the time when he get his monument up and such, like nothing out of the ordinary happening so far. But 452, he hits classical age. He's got 8 villagers and his pharaoh over here. He's only going with 5. This is one of the things that they were talking about in the Discord was you should actually just send all villagers, like 10 villagers and the pharaoh to build the TC, if you have the villagers nearby. Because with the pharaoh empowerment, villagers are working 75% faster than they would ordinarily. So I think it's like 10 villagers and the pharaoh. It's very efficient. You get the TC up incredibly fast and you can start producing villagers incredibly fast. And when the TC is done, obviously the villagers goes back to work. But for now, Kimo is just focusing on fending off this attack here. He does have shifting sands available if he wants to. Yeah, there it is. Pretty much perfect here by Kimo getting the Chiron into this cage here. I don't know if it was perfect play by him or if it was fortunate, but it's exactly what he wanted. Would have been nice to have Ajax in there as well, I guess, but most importantly, he got Chiron there. 6 minutes and the TC goes up. And now Kimo doesn't have access to Hunt anymore. No more Hunt left on the map, and he's got a bunch of goats actually, so definitely enough food to sustain himself in terms of villager production, but other than that, it's a rough path to heroic age from here. We'll see what he does though. Still just one monument. And the reason there's just one monument, obviously, is because he's got 2 town centers, so he needs a lot of food for constant villager production, especially when he doesn't have Hunt. You know, you really gotta be careful. If he had built a monument to soldiers, I think it is, that's 100 less food he would have, and that would pretty much translate to idle TC time. And Kimo very smartly decides, I would rather have constantly working town centers than a slightly faster second monument. He's doing a great job actually denying the TC here by the Rebel. Like, this is 7 minutes in and Rebel is still, he's barely even begun building this settlement here. Pharaoh and Priest still being incredibly annoying. I think this Ajax will be able to fend off this attack now and Rebel will finally get this TC up. But it's been a while and Kimo's done a great job. Still managing his economy greatly all the while, so kudos to him. I think he's even going for a 3rd TC. Yeah, he is. Very few people would do this. Only Egyptian mains would do this kind of play. Would be sort of comfortable enough with Egyptian economy to do this. I think most people in this situation would just say, I need to get to the heroic age as soon as possible, so I can make wood-based army, but Kimo says, I'll go for this TC as well. Even gives him access to these berries if he wants to. But this is what I was talking about, guys. Pharaoh just can he even do that? I think so. He's auto-queuing gazelles. I didn't even know you could auto-queue on the Pharaoh, but apparently you can. He's just killing the gazelles immediately. Obviously, if you want to do this perfectly, if you want to macro perfectly, you need to, like you see these gazelles, it's already rotten like 7 food, 8 food. You could do this manually, gradually as you go along, but Kimo just says, nah, I'll do it. I'll do it here in the beginning. Lost a villager there to the Chiron, but he's got so much Hunt here. There's like 6, maybe 15 gazelles here. Each gazelle has 75 food, and like I said, they do rot, so you gotta take that into consideration, but 15 times 75, what is that? It's 1,000 and something food that he gets for free, if you can say that, because it's all from this early investment into the monument. Still only just one monument, and he's able to get all of this food here. He's made like a 1,500 food or something at this stage, I think, from the gazelles. This is a 2 gold mine Ghost Lake, by the way, so Kimo shouldn't fear getting gold starved at this stage. He's got 2 towers here, perfectly guarding this gold mine. He's not in trouble at all. I mean, this is just Kimo being very good at set as well. He's got he knows that he's got 2 gold mines in base, so he can get away with building 3 TCs. I think very soon he will be at 80 villagers as well. Even if he's losing a few here, it doesn't quite matter, because he will replenish those villagers in no time. He's going Nephthys too now. Like, this is the power of the gazelles. If he had to make a farm transition, even with Shadoof, he would never have the food so early. Like, remember, this was a map with 1 boar over here and like maybe 8 caribou here, but still he's able to get 3 TCs. I think he's at maybe 70 or 80 villagers now, and he's getting a really, really nice 10, 20, 10, 30 heroic age timing here. Yeah, and just auto-queuing villages right now. He doesn't have an army. It looks a bit silly. It's like 10:30 into the game. He hasn't even built one single military unit so far, but he doesn't really need it. He's got the towers to protect his main base, and then the town centers are very, very strong here. It's a very nice gold mine here, and like I said, 2 gold mines in the beginning, obviously. But here he hits heroic age, and now he gets access. He even deletes the crocodiles just to hunt them as well. But he gets access to the giraffes, and giraffes are quite a bit better than the gazelles. They're double the amount of food, and they only cost... what is it? Yeah, 1 favor more. So 50% higher cost, but 100% more food. It's nice, not only because it's more food, but also because there are fewer carcasses here to be annoying with. Because you have to walk around these carcasses a lot. Make sure you get Husbandry too, by the way, giving you 15 extra carrying capacity. But he is heroic now. He gets the Migdal up, and he gets this wood-based army that I was talking about. Making chariot archers, and soon siege works with siege towers in it. And look at this. He's just making giraffes here. He's got 17 villagers hunting right now. On this really, really low hunt Ghost Lake, he's got 18 villagers hunting with the Pharaoh empowering. This is really, really big to have access to this. Let's see what Rebel is doing at this stage. Farming, like small farm productions. He's got 8 here onto these herdables. Like, this is nothing. His Rebel's food income compared to Kimo's with these giraffes here, it's nothing. And look at this. He just built the market. I think he's going to buy food, and then just jump Mythic Age through Horus. Pretty sure he's gonna do this now. Rebel is trying his best to make something happen here with small raids here and there, but with 3 town centers, it's so easy to replenish these villagers getting killed. And this is such a good army for Kimo. These chariot archers just cost wood and gold, and mostly wood, honestly, so it's really no big deal investing into chariot archers here. And there we go. Kimo going Mythic Age already now. He's going to hit Mythic Age somewhere around 14 minutes in. On a terribly scuffed Ghost Lake with 80 villagers, with 3 town centers, and pretty much full population, I imagine. Looking over here, he's got 14 villagers on a hunt right now, and he's just auto-queuing giraffes. He doesn't even have to repress it because it's on auto-queue, so you notice here it's just waiting for the favor to come in. It's honestly not even that much macro involved in this. All you have to do is delete the giraffes when they come out. But this is Kimo. Perfect macro. Perfect Egyptian macro. And then with this new set strategy, I don't know if it's new, but it's certainly something that most people have forgotten about. Ancestors being used here. And Horus is coming in right now. When you're using Tornado from Horus, you want to use it near an important building and army if at all possible. So if he had Tornado up now, he would have to use it right here. It would kill all of these Toxicities and the town center. See here if he does it. Maybe he'll wait for these units to move slightly further in. But this Tornado is gonna be huge if he uses it. Let's just... surely he's gonna use it now, right? Yeah. Look at this. Boom! All the Toxotes dead except 3 who are very low HP. Even killing a bunch of villagers as well. He's just sending his siege towers as well. The tornado has run out. Yeah, there we go. It's GG. Really, really well played by Kimo. And looking over here, I think he's still auto-queuing. Yeah, he's still auto-queuing giraffes. What he could do is auto-queue hippos instead. Hippos are even greater than giraffes. And man, look at this. 14 and a half minutes in, he's on 80 villagers. He's mythic age and not one single farm build on such a scuffed ghost lake. This is the power of Set, guys. This is the power of Set. Love to see it. I think there's a lot of potential into this strategy. We'll see if Kimo keeps playing this way. I think especially on low hunt maps like this, maybe on Alfheim or Oasis or who knows. I think this strat has a lot of merit to it.